the Louis Diaz podcast.
Unless somehow there's 8 ribs in here. That doesn't look like 8. Does that look like 8?
Doesn't, but it could well be. Episode 86 with Keskiyo Porritt.
What?
What's your surname?
Porritt.
I was always going to get that wrong. To be fair, you deal with that a lot though, don't you?
True. I think I get it worse with Keskiyo.
You do?
Yeah, no, so many people are like, how do I pronounce that? And I'm like, I feel like it's pretty phonetic.
Pretty easy. Yeah.
I feel like that, like
It's quite phonetic. Yeah, you're right.
Do you
That's
want some
oh,
chicken?
thank you. Right, we're busting out the food straight up. Why? Because it's hot.
Because it's hot and I haven't had brekkie.
So we're gonna exchange
Alternate,
these,
yeah.
which means I need to give you some napkins.
Oh, facts.
Oh, you've got some. And I am going to stuff some chicken bones, maybe on the ground.
Feed it to the
as
pigeons,
we
maybe.
eat. Well,
I don't know
I'll
if
find
they...
a bin afterwards. I've seen pigeons going at chicken bones before.
Pigeons that eat anything. I don't know if they're like omnivorous or they just like like what is it called if they eat both like herbs, meats, and questionable like pieces of rock.
Omnivorous. I saw a bird the other day take an olive off an olive tree. Yeah. And just go at it. Now, this thing was way bigger than its beak. And I was like, please don't swallow that whole olive. Because I know they have pips. And I don't want to have to resuscitate a bird right now. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, yes.
You know?
The amount of times, because I'm in the city all the time as a busker, that I've had to rescue like birds and stuff like that. Oh my god, I have like a deep, intimate connection with the 24/7 like animal vets.
You've had to resuscitate a bird before?
Rescue, not resuscitate. I'm not touching the things.
I'm joking, but that was good. So how do you rescue a bird? What do you rescue birds from?
I don't know. Sometimes birds just like get a bit mangled. I don't know. They've been like hit by a car or they've hit a car. You know, when they just fly into a stationary car. That happens a lot more than you would think.
Yeah.
And they like break a wing or something. I don't know. Sometimes they just like need a minute. But I'm like, I don't want this bird to die and start like rotting on the sidewalk.
See,
That's
human.
not fun.
That's very human of you. You care for your environment and the other things in it.
Yeah, I would like to think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see a dead bird. That's like traumatic.
It is. It is traumatic, and I can tell you from experience that I saw a pigeon just walking on the road, and you know how like when a car comes, you're like, oh, that bird left it really late. Well, this bird left it really, really late, and now it's underneath the car. But because it's underneath the car, it's freaking out, and the car's rolling really slowly. And then it walked itself into the path of the rear top wheel, and I saw this bird slowly realize it was being crushed to death. And I was like, oh, that's actually still that was like 8 years ago. It still scars me today. You know, to watch
it's
something.
Like, especially in Australia, it's like an Australian thing. The kangaroo suicide jumpers. I don't know what it is. My brother, for the first time, I have an older brother, 5 years-ish older than me. And like first time doing a big interstate drive, you know, I think we went to Adelaide and he was like, I think like 3-4 hours in, middle of the night, 2 kangaroos side of the road, absolutely minding their own business, like not doing anything. And then as the car's approaching, because we were in this massive Mitsubishi Pajero, bull bar, everything.
The right car.
The right car for this sort of situation, where the kangaroo just jumped right in front of the car. It wasn't on the road beforehand, wasn't even like near the road, but it just said alley-oop and just slammed itself right in. And my brother had to almost get therapy for that.
Yeah, you know, like, it's like, did you try to do that? Were you trying to do that?
Right?
Yeah, is it like, did you think
I
that
know
would be
you're
a
not
good
a
idea?
dumb like animal species.
No, you're not. And you've seen cars before. Surely you've been on this road.
You want to swap?
But you decided that this one, yeah, absolutely.
The chips are so
Let's
good.
do a swapsies. I love Nando's. You're a legend.
I love Nando's so much. I grew up on Nando's. Like, it was like once a week we would just get the full chicken, like not even like half or a third or a quarter. Like
You grew
Full
up
chicken.
on Nando's.
I grew up on Nando's.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Box Hill, whole life.
You're a local girl.
Yeah, born and raised.
Mm.
Like, I've lived there the entirety of my... Well, I lived in Blackburn for a little bit, for the first 5 years,
okay.
but that doesn't
you're,
count.
You're pretty local.
I have traveled a bit, but yeah, like, grew up there, went to school there, all that fun stuff. Whew, it's a very fun place to grow up. Not so fun when I was a kid, because the crime rates were a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But now that everyone's been priced out because of house inflation and all the whole Box Hill's becoming a new city
It's
sort of thing.
gentrified, yeah.
Yeah.
Gentrification, less crime, yada yada. But you're a legend for bringing Nando's. You know, Nando's was not my first job, but I had 2 jobs simultaneously when I was in year 11. First one was KFC.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And the second one was Nando's. And at one point I was working at both, together at the same time. And I remember my shifts were after school shifts, right? So I used to come in so hungry after school, and the first thing I would do, I was so untrained for the workforce as a kid. Like, I didn't understand that this kind of etiquette wasn't acceptable.
Oh,
'Cause
real shit?
I was a 16-year-old boy.
Working fast food.
You know what I mean? Like, 16-year-old boy metabolism, 16-year-old boy energy needs.
You're just wolfing down the entire restaurant, hey?
Well, I'm going to school on a bowl of cornflakes, right? Mm-hmm. And I've got a Vegemite sandwich to get me through the day. So by the time I get to like 4:30 p.m. and I'm hitting my shift at Nando's, I head straight to the grill, put 3 slices of bacon on with 3 slices of cheese in between,
Oh, hell yeah.
smash them into a pitta. There's literally no room for any of the salad, but I just filled in the small gaps with any cucumber and tomato that I could.
You know what? For a teenage boy, eating a bit of veggies, that's actually pretty, give you props for that.
Yeah, true. And I would have a triple cheese, triple bacon pitta, smashed with medium sauce.
That is so
That's
relatable.
my after. Yeah, exactly.
That's
See,
so
a
relatable.
fellow Nando's lover gets it.
Oh my god. When I got my first ever job, year 12, end of year 12, I got a job when Five Guys opened. Like, first ever
What's
Five
Five Guys?
Five Guys is like
Have
American.
I missed something?
Yeah, no, you haven't missed anything. It's like an American fast food joint, and it's come to Australia. It opened up its first place in Sydney. I know all this because I work there.
Right.
And they opened their first joint, and I was obviously 17, and I was just looking for anything, and it was the first place that hired me.
Box Hill?
No, not in Box Hill, here in the city, in the South Bank Promenade, where there was a big red
Yes.
stair thingy,
Yep.
and there's the big old bridge where the tram goes past, and on the other side is that's
the
where
amphitheater, the big red amphitheater.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's supposed to be an amphitheater. Oh, it's supposed to be either the exhaust or the entry to the car park for Crown or something. But
Oh.
on the other side is they've made it look like an amphitheater where people can sit.
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And yeah, so down that way, it first opened up, and so I was just looking for the first job, and I was like, fuck it, fast food, it's easy peasy.
Please. That's that is how you enter the workforce.
Right? You have to have I don't trust people who haven't worked fast food or retail and both at the same time.
Maybe, but definitely not the ones that have only worked retail.
Oh.
No, you
Like,
need to
come
know
on.
what it's like to come back home
You need to do the 12-hour closing shift.
for $5.30 an hour,
Exactly.
covered in oil
Oh my god.
and KFC flour, just wet flour all over you.
Yeah, Five Guys was brutal. But the worst thing was that we got the food for free. We got one meal for free. I guess because they just opened, they didn't understand how much of a net loss that would be to feed 100 people.
Really?
Yeah. Because most places it's 20% employee discount. Lucky if it's 40%. But we got it for free. So I would be pulling after school shifts 3 days of the week, and then a 10-hour shift on Sunday, and sometimes 12-hour shifts on Saturday. I was flat out working.
Your diet was Five Guys.
My diet was Five Guys. But it's actually not that bad because all the food's actually really well made, and I hate to give them praise because they're so expensive, and I don't like the people that work there.
Yeah.
As someone who worked there, I was one of 2 people that was underage.
Right.
And like it was bad. It was bad. I don't want to slander. I want to give out any other information, but it wasn't the best.
Sure.
As a teenage girl, working with a lot of men. Yeah.
I can imagine.
But free Five Guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gained like 5 kilos.
Did you? Good 5 kilos though. Like that's 5 kilos that you're proud to gain. You're like, this was free.
And I
everyone.
wasn't even eating like carbs because I'm like a celiac, so I'm deathly allergic to gluten.
What?
Also, why I love Nando's, because Nando's is just chicken and chips. It's like, HSP.
There is no gluten in that?
No gluten. As
Are
far
you
as I'm aware.
100%?
100%. Like if
Even in these chips with this seasoning?
all good. It's all
What?
good. I know.
What? I didn't need any more excuses to like Nando's. But now I do have like the ultimate excuse, especially if you're a Melburnian.
Everyone's gluten free.
All my gluten friends, you're welcome here.
It's actually kind of funny because like I've been to a lot of countries. Like I recently went to Thailand and stuff like that. And there's a weird kind of trade-off where being in Melbourne, like gluten-free stuff is a lot more easily
Yes,
acquired and
it's
stuff
so
like
true.
that. Like everyone knows what a gluten is and knows even what celiac is and stuff like that. And everyone's very accommodating. But on the flip side, because everyone knows what it is and there's been like a weird fad for the past like 20 odd years. Whenever I say I'm gluten-free, I get that initial like, and I'm like, no, I'm deathly allergic.
Don't be scared.
And I'm like, I can't actually eat it. Like,
right.
I'm not one of those. And they're like,
Right.
oh, okay. But are you? And I'm like, no, no. But going to a country like Thailand, they don't know what gluten is. Not a word in their vocabulary. And I literally mean that. Like, Google Translate was absolutely no help.
Makes sense.
But majority of the food is already gluten-free because their big
and
thing
that's
is
why,
rice.
That's why they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because their entire way of being is gluten-free. They've never had a problem with it.
That's why scientifically studies show like, Asian countries and stuff like that don't have as high rates of celiac diagnoses. Can't really diagnose something that you've been treating your entire life and it's never become a problem.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're slamming the Wheat Bix every
Yeah.
day, pizza every night, you're fine.
That's true, but when you go to our supermarkets here, like there's the fruit and veg section, and then there's like, which is like 20% of the supermarket, maybe at best.
Yeah, it's
And then
not a
there's
high selection.
Everything else, which has got some form of, chemical
Yeah.
products or
I
preservative.
actually love going to the Queen Vic market. Don't
Oh,
go
me
as
too.
often as I would love to because I just don't live close to the city.
Box Hill has a market.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Box Hill has inside like the Asian kind of fish market, all that has like fresh produce. I've just only recently convinced my dad that going there won't give you an immense amount of diseases.
Yeah, right. Okay.
He's just one of those kind of people, old
fair
white guy. So
yeah.
you gotta.
I feel seen.
It.
I feel seen.
But like, I finally convinced him, like, yes, it is a lot cheaper. It is a lot better. I've also shown him the oyster section, because they have massive, the like Tasmanian
Really?
oysters. I'm a big oyster
Me
fan.
too.
I thought, really?
Love them.
I'm glad. Oysters like the most
Yeah.
divisive like food I've ever met.
I couldn't imagine two people that are so different, like a young, 20-something 20-year-old woman and a 40-year-old grey-haired.
You're 40.
Yeah, man.
Huh.
But yet we have this common ground with our love for Nando's and oysters.
I was actually
See?
looking at Firebird. There's this like restaurant in Porritt. Super expensive. But on Saturdays, I think, they have $60 per person, all you can eat oysters. So,
What?
I know! All you can eat. My plan is go there, sit for 2 hours, slam back like 100 fucking oysters, and just rake it in and probably get sick and die, but like die happy.
Yeah, but with your history of exploiting any reasonable deal, of course,
Obviously.
you're obliged. You're obliged to
I
go
need
there
to
and
make
take the
sure
piss.
that I'm making a net profit from the amount of oysters I'm eating.
100%. Not just that. You want to make sure you're carried out of there by an ambulance. You want to make
Exactly.
sure that they know that you've been here.
I want to leave that restaurant as a walking food violation.
Yeah.
Like, health code is just me.
Yep. You want to leave the staff traumatized.
Yeah, I want to change the trajectory of their lives.
just from the pure vision of them seeing someone consume that many
Because I
oysters.
see this one girl on TikTok that goes to places where it's like $1 per oyster or like $2 per oyster, and she gets like 60 of them. And the comments are just grilling her because they're all like, oh my god, you're gonna get that one like thingy that like happens if an oyster's like gone off or like whatever.
Salmonella or something, is it? Yeah.
That's chickens.
Is it?
That's,
oh, okay.
That's not salmon.
What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's just like off oysters, and it can like high key kill you. It's like food poisoning, but it's like up the ante.
Right. Yep.
And everyone's telling her that in comments, and she just keeps doing it. She doubled down. She got 80 oysters the next time. She just keeps having, and then she ends every video being like, oh, wish I had more. And I'm like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
That's me. I see my future, and it's bright.
Yep. It definitely in my 20s, I was right there. As I've aged, I think the most I can handle is a dozen now.
Really?
Yeah, which is still good.
That is pretty
I just
good.
don't need them anymore.
You want to swap
Yeah.
again?
Swap again. So sorry. Did you even eat any of those? I feel like.
I ate 3, actually.
You're
I was
kidding.
just very secretly nibbling.
How the hell do you do that? I didn't notice you eating at all.
Really?
Yeah, here I am going.
Well, the
"Oh,
microphone is just
no."
fucking covering my entire mouth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm really enjoying this
If
conversation.
I was like
though.
at home by myself, I'd be eating like mouth open, disgusting slob, like chill back, just crumbs everywhere, like pure just.
Well, it's only been 20 minutes.
Has it really?
Yeah, since I pressed record. Probably about 5 since we've actually been talking. But honestly, Jason Slape, the photographer, he met you out on the street while you were singing.
Yeah. So.
And he just had nothing but really great things to say about you. And he didn't even mention any of this stuff, like loves Nando's, local girl, smashes oysters.
Well, to be fair,
I
I'm
mean, he
not
told
really
me that.
monologuing while I'm busking. I'm usually just singing the songs. But yeah, Jason's an absolutely lovely guy. Like, I get my fair share of like street photographers and videographers like coming up. Not so much. I've moved to South Bank Promenade just for safety reasons. But yeah, in
Really?
the city, yeah, that's a whole thing I'll get into a bit later. But in terms of street photographers, like, there's been a couple. Some of my favorites has been Kosuke. He's this Japanese guy just recently went to Japan,
Right.
did videos. But Jason came up to me and he was just like, I'm not very good at this. I'm going to be so unbelievably real with you. I'm just learning how to even do videos and stuff like that. I'm just learning how to edit.
Yep.
Is it okay? And I'm like, girl, yes.
Yep.
Any photos of me is like you have to pay for that normally. Like, come on now. It's free. Like,
Yeah.
you're taking photos of me for free. Why would I say no?
I know. People ask me all the time here, and they're like, hey, will you take photos? I'm like, yeah, just tag me. Because, I
Literally.
want to see them.
Literally.
Not because I'm vain. It's not vanity. It's just like, I want to appreciate what you saw. You know what? I want to see what you saw.
Exactly. I have, like, my busking signs. I was going to bring my busking equipment today, but I looked at the weather and I was like, it's, like, really f***ing windy.
It was-
I'm not doing anything.
Right, okay. Is it windy?
It is windy, just not here.
Yeah, okay.
But on the way here, hence why I brought a hairbrush with me.
Yeah.
Treacherous.
Right.
And South Bank Promenade, like, double the treachery.
Yeah.
So I'm not with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Jason's really lovely, and I've been, like, kind of, like, telling him, like, oh, yeah, that looks really good, or, oh, I don't think that looks so good on me, like, I think that angle looks better, and then, like, telling him, like, yeah, I can set up this light so you don't have to use the flash and stuff like that, so you don't have to do as much, like, post, and he just said to me, one of the last days I think he was here or something, and he was just like, by the way, I was talking with this podcaster, and I talked about you, and I was like, what did you say about me?
I know.
What did you say?
I feel the same when people say similar stuff to me.
Like, why are you perceiving me? What the hell? Why do I exist, like, outside of, like, me?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I should be, like, an NPC where it's, like, like, vanish into, like, the mist.
I feel like I am.
If I come out of the render distance. Like, that's what I feel like. And so when people are like, I've talked about you, I'm like, don't do that. That's weird.
Yeah.
But, like, do that
Yeah.
because, like, obviously I want to be a famous singer one day. But, like, don't do that.
I know exactly what you mean. I can so relate to that because on the one hand, doing this here might seem like an attention seeky grabby thing, but if you actually think about it, the internalization of the whole NPC thing, I just feel like I'm invisible here sometimes.
Right?
You know, I don't.
That's how I feel when
really
busking.
care, you know.
I'm literally. I've got a
Yeah, that's
massive
great.
speaker in front of me. I've got all these signs being like, tip me, give me money.
You do.
Give me my Instagram. And I'm just being like an absolute like screamer about like who I am and just wanting attention. But then I'm like, nah, people just like ignore me.
Did you see what I just did?
I did see that.
And you didn't judge me?
Nah. Who gives a fuck? That's some real shit. I love it. That's some real shit. Like, I can't judge a vibe.
Right. Well, thank you, Jason, for introducing me to this legend. Yeah, I love it. You know, I did walk past you maybe 2 weeks ago.
Dead Ash?
Dead ash.
Dead Ash.
And that means for real?
That does mean for real. Period.
Okay, good. Yeah, so dead ash, I walked right past you, right? And I was walking with my girlfriend, and I was like, I think that's her. Because I hadn't seen you before. With Jason, I'd seen you online. We'd already connected. We'd already teed this up. But I'd never seen you in IRL.
The flesh.
Yeah, I'd never seen you out in the open world. So then I was pretty sure it was you. I was impressed with your setup, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I was,
thank you.
I was like, yeah, there is lots of signage here, lots of ways to donate. And then I leant in and like gave you all the coins I had in my wallet. And I was like, this is so fun because she doesn't even know it's me.
Oh, that's
And you were
so
singing,
cool.
so I think you take it seriously. You're like, you kind of like smile and just keep singing.
I
was
can't
like-
just like stop singing if I'm like mid-sentence.
But I would be like, what? You actually like what I'm singing? Oh, thank you. Oh, whoop, back to the song.
I guess I get used to that now because
Yeah.
I've been doing it for like a year and a half.
Oh, you've been busking for a year and a half?
Yeah, it was like a thing. I was actually supposed to do it for longer, but I got a bit of stage fright.
Okay.
I've been in singing lessons since I was like 8 years old.
Right, okay.
And it's been like non-stop. This
Yeah.
year is the only year I haven't done singing lessons, and that's because I'm broke. And
Broke artist.
yeah, all right, just like join the line.
Yeah, get in them. Yeah.
And so I, for a long time, have just been like chronically peer pressured by just everyone in my life to be like, you need to do something with that. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm aware. What do
You know,
want me
peer
to do?
pressure can be good for us sometimes when it's
I
like,
know, especially in Australia with our tall poppy syndrome thing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like people want us to exploit our talents. That's like positive
Do
peer
you want
pressure.
me to be like showing off?
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. Like, I have so many friends who refuse to go to karaoke with me. I love a good karaoke, but refuse to do it with me because they're like, you singing, I know you mean no ill will, but it'll make me feel like shit because then I have to hear myself
Sing
after
next
you.
to you.
And I'm like, no, I can make myself sound bad. And they're like,
Yeah.
that's worse,
No, we don't
actually.
want you to. That's why we're bringing you to.
Yeah.
You finish those.
Are you
I
sure?
finished the last chicken wing or rib. I'm obliged to let you have that.
That's fair. You know what? I understand.
You're like, by the way, you've definitely landed in the top 5 as far as guests that have brought food, for sure. I mean, it's impossible
yeah.
to top the Basque cheesecake that
Basque cheesecake?
Christy Russell baked
Yar.
and brought the entire cheesecake here,
That's
which I
pretty lit.
ate about 2/3 of here during the 3-hour recording that we did. But
Holy smokes.
I mean, like, yeah, I've had some interesting attempts at bringing food, and like you've outdone most people. 20, everyone. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Nando's is always a winner. I don't know a single
can't
person who
fail.
hates Nando's except for vegans,
can't
and that's
fail.
that's a given. That's just like, well, you can't eat Nando's.
I have this running joke with my daughter, who's actually closer to your age. She's turning 17 soon,
Aw.
right? And I tried to take her to Nando's once when she was like 6, because I know that she's like me. She didn't know that she's like me, but I knew that she's like me just through observing some of her behaviors. And see, my daughter, she generally, what I learned about her when I would go up and see her was that she likes to be safe. She likes to do things that she knows. And
That's fair.
fine.
That's fair.
But there I am trying to convince her that, no, you really love this place. And eventually she I gave in to her saying, no, just take me somewhere safe that I know.
That's so rude.
Like Macca's is literally right next door. This is in Maroochydore. But she knows Macca's. She knew Macca's. Oh, I'll take you there. A missed opportunity. I wanted to enjoy Nando's with my daughter for the first time.
That's like a core memory.
Yeah. And now I do have that memory finally, but it took many years to get us back there.
How long?
Like 10 years. It took 10 years to get us back together in like near the vicinity of a Nando's when we were both hungry.
I've
But-
always heard the parenting trick is to like not tell your kids that you're getting them a specific thing.
See,
You
I
just
didn't know
do
that.
it and you put it in front of them and they'll eat it.
I didn't know that.
Really?
I didn't.
That's what my
hadn't
parents
known.
did with me.
Yeah.
I have such a broad like flavor palette simply because I just didn't have a choice. My parents would put it in front of me, didn't make a fuss, didn't tell me what the fuck I was eating. If I asked, they would tell me, but they just put it in front of me. I've had some wacky sounds like shit.
Yeah.
I've had some
you've
intestines.
got a
I've
good
had
palate.
tongues.
Because of that, I reckon that's why you've got such a good palate.
I'd hope so. The only thing I can't do is spice.
Oh,
Hence
you
why I
can't?
got the herb and lemon Nando's.
Really, those chips have got some paprika spice on them though. Well, you're talking about real spice.
I'm talking about real
You're
spice.
talking about Indian spice.
Funnily enough, you mentioned that. I am like part Indian.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, which
What's
makes
wrong
it
with you?
even the more embarrassing because I can't handle any like Indian like spice.
You're so westernized.
I'm very whitewashed.
It's so funny.
I know. It's
Yeah.
actually really bad.
With the whole Nando's thing and my kid, a few years later, there she is telling me about her favorite new food over FaceTime.
No,
And
it
I'm
wasn't
like-
even you who did it. It was.
Yeah, someone else. But because she's got a really great memory. So I was like, remember that time I tried to take you there? And she's like rolled her eyes and gone, yeah. Like, yes, Dad, you were right.
Oh my god, that is the most teenage daughter shit because I do that.
That's so satisfying as a parent, though,
I'm
just to
sure.
be-
I'm
just to be
so
here.
sure it will be.
just to hear that you were right.
I feel like vindication as a parent from your kid
Yeah.
just feels so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I was right because
Yeah.
I'm the adult and I've lived longer than you.
And I know that you are just a mini version of me.
Right? Like, you share all of my DNA and I chose the woman that created you.
Yeah.
So she's got to have something in common with me as well.
Yeah. That's a good point. But also, what I did after that was like, hey, do you like sushi? And she's like, no. I said, you're going to like sushi. And she's like,
She doesn't like sushi? Does she like sushi?
not yet. Not yet.
How are you a Melburnian?
She's not. She's a coastie. Sunshine Coast.
She has not lived.
Well, yeah, she's getting there. Oh, well, she went on holidays to Japan a couple of years ago and absolutely loves the place. So I'm like,
You're so close. You're so close. You're
I'm
like
like-
right there.
I'm like, you have no idea. It's like I can read your future, but all in good time. That's the thing as a parent. You've got to learn to be patient. You've got to go, I know they're going to like that thing, but I have to let them discover it themselves.
Oh my god, I feel like that's like the worst part because I have to do that with my boyfriend sometimes because he grew up eating like the same things his whole life, you know, low income, couldn't afford it because most like fancy foods and like exotic foods are usually very expensive, especially if you don't live in the city or in like Box Hill.
Yep.
And so sometimes I have been having the process of slowly introducing food to him. It's not going well, but slowly. And I'm just like, I feel like this is what my parents felt like when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think the virtue in that is that you have to learn patience, you know, and that's like,
I'm
that's
not
hard.
good with that.
Yeah.
I've got to say, that is like my fatal flaw, not a patient person.
Well, that's not, we're not, when we're brought into this earth, like the only thing we do is cry for food and sleep and poo, right? And so like when a baby cries for food, it's used to getting it instantly, getting its way instantly. And so like the hero's journey of life is part of it is learning how to be patient, learning how to not get instantly what you want when you cry for it. You know what I mean? And it's hard.
and
It's
some
traumatic.
people never learn that.
Some people don't. They've got the means to get whatever they want when they want, but there's got to be a time when they're faced with things they can't have when they want it.
I know.
There's that time, and and that becomes way easier to manage your emotions when you've learned patience.
A lot of lessons, like the earlier you learn them, the way better. Like your first heartbreak, for example. People who haven't dated properly until they're like 26 scare me, because your first heartbreak is going to break you as a human being. Whereas like most people usually date when they're in high school. And so they go through like their rough, like 15-year-old girlfriend holds hands with another boy in the year level, and you're just absolutely gutted. You hate women for like a solid like week. You're like posting emo Bart, like your profile picture is blacked out and everything. Like you're listening to XXXTentacion. But you go through that. You live that life, and you live that when it's like appropriate. It's age appropriate. You're supposed to do that when you're a teenager.
I didn't have that. I didn't.
Really?
I was unpopular as a kid. Yeah, throughout high school. Yeah, when I was 15, an 18-year-old girl kissed me because she thought I was 18, and then regretted it when I told her my real age. And that was the only time anyone ever touched me while I was during school. It wasn't until after. So I mean,
I can empathize a little
my
bit.
kid was born when I was 23, so you
Damn.
know I bridged the gap real quick
Damn.
from leaving high school. Yeah, but I mean,
You turned 20 and you're like, I'm doing it.
yeah.
I'm living every experience I missed out on.
Well, when I got out
Speed
into
one.
the real world, for me, it was like suddenly like I was meeting people that were interested in me,
Oh my god, that's some real shit.
and I was like, that's
I
weird.
also had the same thing. I was dramatically unpopular in high school, which I feel like a lot of people see that and see how like talkative, boisterous, blah blah blah, and they're like, that's no. And I'm like, no, trust me, I was like the freak. I was weird as fuck. I was kind of friends with everyone, but I wasn't like besties. Like I wasn't anyone's like close friend. And so then as soon as I turned like 18 though and like left school, because I went to a very small school, like my year level only had like 80 kids, and like 15 of those didn't even speak English because they were Chinese international students. Love them. Actually good friends with some of them because we did Chinese class together. Oh, okay.
Sure. Thank you.
I could with a bottle of water. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been great.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of a recording though, so if you want to engage meaningfully, it's going to have to be another time.
Yup.
But I do appreciate the bottle of water.
I do appreciate the bottle
That
of
is
water.
very kind of you.
God bless.
God bless. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to set expectations.
Yeah. I was just like, what
But
is
it was
this?
very kind. So
Yeah.
this card for anyone, and this is not necessarily that. I don't know what I'm showing you, but what is yours? What does mine say?
Yours says, and though you started with little, you'll end with much. Job
Okay.
8-7. Yeah, that is how a job works.
And yours says, do not lose hope in times of trouble, for this is where being a 40-year-old and needing glasses kicks in, for God is working in the unseen. Well, that gives me some, you know what? That gives me, just to know that anything positive is working in the unseen gives me hope.
That does give me hope.
Yeah. Thank you for giving us a bit of hope today.
Yeah.
Lovely people.
Oh my god, Lady Gaga. Period.
Who? Where?
Lady Gaga.
Oh,
She's right there. She's staring at
poker
me.
face, poker face.
Carry my, know you can read in my poker face. Carry my, know you can read in my poker face. You know in that song,
That's the second duet I've done on this podcast.
really?
Yeah.
You know, funnily enough, in that song, thing I found out, like literally not even that long ago, when she says like poker face,
Poker face.
the second part is her face.
I had no idea.
And that never got censored by radio censors. That's in the like, yeah. Poker face.
She hit it in there really
face.
well.
Poker face.
Yeah,
Face.
that's like
It sounds the exact same, and especially because Lady Gaga's got like the Lady Gaga voice. Obviously, it sounds because she's got a deeper register.
does.
It's even more like incoherent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. She could get
that.
away with it.
Yeah, that wasn't even in like the censored, clean radio version. That was in the radio version
Yeah, that's
because
interesting.
no one noticed because she didn't say anything
Well,
about
because
it.
I thought she was talking about poker the whole time.
I know.
I'm seeing like a pair of aces, and the whole time she's talking, I'm like seeing, royal flushes or singing, I'm
Oh
not
my
even
God.
thinking about
Growing up
anything
was
else.
realizing how many like pieces of media are actually just like disgustingly erotic.
When you become an adult and have
It
a
was
child
a
and
shock.
start getting in front of Pixar films again and going,
Right? Oh my God.
Oh.
I love
I get
rewatching
it.
all of the movies that I watched as a child and stuff like that. Rewatching some of the like Pixar and DreamWorks films, I'm like, oh my god, they had no chill.
Yeah.
What is like watching
They had to make them.
The Road to El Dorado.
No, I've never seen it.
Really?
Never seen
Oh
it.
my god! Literally, the main girl
I
in
want to
that,
watch it though.
the main girl in The Road to El Dorado, baddie, certified. She is so fine. Her
Yeah.
design, they actually said they had to make her look less attractive because it was actually becoming a problem.
Erotic.
But then, like,
Yeah.
her actual design in the show is already fucking insane. Like, she is wearing it all. Like, it's a tube top
hard.
and, like, a skirt that, like, and she's got the thickest thighs known to mankind. She's got, like, the hair and the lips and everything. And, like, the way that they've, like, obviously voiced her and acted her. Like, god damn. And then, like, there's Sinbad. I don't know if you saw Sinbad, but Eris, who's, like, the main god chick, she's a baddie as well. No, this is
I
a
have
weird tangent
experience.
to get on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I
Racism.
rewatched those. This is scientific, purely scientific. I'm not talking from a personal perspective.
Especially because as a male, all of these like heavily feminine attributes that you describe are arousing to hear about. It's like
Right?
thick ass thighs, and I'm sitting here going, like I'm tweaking over here, going, shut up.
And then to see it in a kid's movie, and you gotta sit there being like,
No.
I'm witnessing my kid's, like, sexual awakening right now.
Yeah, I think the first cartoon babe that I actually didn't realize I was like,
Head over heels.
yeah, was Aladdin.
Oh, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Let me guess. That scene where she's in the red dress.
It was just before the Whole New World, where she's like
Really?
emotional and out on the balcony, and you know she's got those big eyes.
That's actually kind of a green flag that it wasn't like when she was in the red dress and stuff like that, and it was before when she was like a normal person.
Yeah, I was like, look at that, what she's wearing. She's looking so damn good.
That's some real
I wish I had a magic carpet right now.
You can ride my magic carpet. Cut that out, cut the cameras dead ass.
No, it's an unedited podcast now. Yeah, well, it's actually, no, but it's important to talk about, it's important to talk about because, like, I'm there now as someone who lived through that as a child and now saw it as a parent and then got the experience of going, oh my God, what are they feeding our children?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, society's become hyper-sexualized.
Oh my god,
For
yeah.
sure. Like, we're in the most...
The normalization of OnlyFans is like the
Well, that's
biggest like
crazy.
recession indicator.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And like, to a guy,
Mm.
you just look at that and you just go, I can see how it's tempting, it must be easy, like, it must be easy money.
Mm.
But then you're like, oh my God, you have to live with the fact that you did that.
Right? Guy or girl, you
Yeah.
have to live with the fact. I feel like women experience a lot more like shame from like peers and stuff like that. Because I saw an Instagram reel of this guy who does OnlyFans and he like paid off like an $80,000 like car or boat or something. He was like, I got my dream thing. And every single comment was so like supportive and so like, yes, queen, yes. And it was like, I have never seen that on a single girl talking about like if she does OnlyFans, being like, yeah, I'm paying my shit off.
Wait a second.
But it's like he is doing the same thing as her. Like,
What's he doing?
I don't know. What I don't
Let me get in on
know is like
this.
what is happening on those like platforms.
What, you don't know? You haven't been on there?
I've never.
Neither.
I don't engage with that
I-
sort of
I-
stuff. I
I-
don't know.
So I'll
I
tell-
hear about it.
Okay. I did an experiment 3 years ago where I signed up to OnlyFans
Oh,
to see
really?
what the sign up. Yeah, I wanted to see what the sign up process was like. And what did I do? I posted one thing on there. I posted a very short video of me in the shower.
Oh.
Could only see from the waist up. You couldn't see anything down.
Just shirtless.
You'd see this on the beach.
Mm.
I wanted to feel what it was like to be someone that went through the sign up process, right? To set themselves up for being on this platform, being on the platform, but that wasn't enough. I had to post something, and I just had so many revelations about my own personal boundaries and what I felt comfortable and moral with, and where I drew a line. I didn't like. because like 3 years ago, it was already huge. I didn't understand. Like, I wanted to feel, at what point am I going to feel like I'm crossing my own moral boundary? And why are there so many people on this platform? Do I have some kind of moral compass that they don't? Or is there some kind of threshold that you have to push through in order to enable yourself to do this? And what I worked out is that that's what it is. It's like, as soon as I posted the first one, I'd already done the deed, and it wasn't anything bad. Like I said, it was just it was just a
But it's a
shirtless
lot
video.
easier to justify doing more now that you've done it once.
Exactly.
It's like an addiction.
Well, let's just say, and it wasn't the case. Let's just say I had 100 people sign up after that. Of course I would have come back.
Yeah, because you're getting that gratification. It's like when you're gambling or like betting, and like you actually win.
Yes.
You know, like
Now you think you're a genius, and now you're coming back for more.
And now it's just like, at what price does your morals get override? And I feel like for me, I don't have that much of an opinion on like sex work and prostitution and stuff like that. I've not really looked into it. I've met people who have been in it. I've been friends with people, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I have very different walks of life.
Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world, right?
My only thing is that I think it's wrong for it to be like not seen as kind of maybe like a last ditch. Like, for someone to not put in the effort to maybe further their studies or go into a trade or something and jump straight to sex work, because usually that means you're quite younger. You're a lot more manipulable. You're a lot more, you know, like at risk. I think that's bad, especially if you're quite young, like under 25. I think if you've gone through a lot of walks of life, you know, it's a last-ditch effort because, you know, you can't go to school for some reason, like you need the money quick, you can't do a trade, and you know you're going to get a payoff. Like, I understand that, but I think it's wrong for the way that it is normalized. Like, my problem with the way it's normalized, it's glamorized. You know, there's these girls and guys earning so much money, supporting their family, buying $1 million mansions and cars and yachts and stuff like that, which is why more people go into it. But what they don't know is that most people... Oh, sorry, we already got the water, don't worry.
See, thank you. We got one.
We got one. Don't worry.
That's beautiful.
Anyways, but like, you know, it encourages people to think it's something it's not, because you're not going to be a 0.1% earner. You're going to be at the bottom 99th percentile, earning like not even 100 a month. But now you've done that.
But you've made the same sacrifice as a top 1%er.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like almost a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Like that same level of like manipulation that you think you're going to be like them, but you're not. And it doesn't really matter how beautiful you are or how marketable you are and everything like that. The market's saturated. You're not going to be something new because like millions of other people are doing it. So may as well like save it as an absolute last-ditch effort. And here in Australia, like prostitution's legal. There are much more ethical ways actually you can go about doing sex work and prostitution here in our country that actually might guarantee you better pay than shelling a bunch of skimpy nudes online. I don't know what actually happens on OnlyFans, if it's like proper full on or if it's just like skimpy like lingerie photos. It could be both.
I read the comments in Instas and it's the whole
whole shebang. I think like selling your soul, like even on social media, selling your soul on social media, you know, like lying to your audience, promoting brands that you actually don't like and stuff like that. It's the same sort of thing. You're selling your soul.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that's interesting because you're 20 now, right? Which means you were born in 2005 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so so to contextualize that for everyone, that's the year Facebook came out.
I was around, like, my existence was the birth of social media. Like, YouTube came out 2005.
Yep. And then it was bought by Google, and all of that's unfolded.
I know.
Since, you know, you've only known a world of that.
Social media.
So it's interesting to hear your insights and opinions.
I think my opinions is just, like, don't treat people differently because they do something. Don't you can have an opinion about something. You can think, you know, I hate OnlyFans. I hate people who do it. I think it's wrong. I think it's demeaning. I think it's immoral. You can have a lot of things. You could think religiously it's a sin. But as long as you treat those people with kindness and respect, you know, in their comment sections, to their face and stuff like that, and don't go around spreading hate, then you can have whatever opinion you want. I feel like everyone, like, that's how it should be for everything. You can have many opinions about different people of all walks of life, but if you just don't be a dick to them or to other people like them, then you can have that opinion and it just not hurt people. Like, you're allowed to think differently, just don't be.
Yeah, pretty much. C-bomb.
C-bomb. C-bomb.
C-bomb alert.
C-bomb.
Well, this is great.
You know the guy who won Mr. Olympia is like Miss Universe of like bodybuilding.
Yeah. I watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary 2 years ago. So
it's
Mr.
exactly
Olympia
that.
is the one, all the ones that win Mr. Universe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're the only ones
It's
that
like
are allowed
pageant
to
shows,
compete.
but for muscles.
Yes.
That's literally what it is.
Mr. Olympia. So where did this come out?
But C-Bum, Chris Bumstead is like,
Really?
I think he's won.
You know all this. You're teaching me so much right now.
Oh my God. But he's like jacked.
Really?
He's nuts. And he just had a kid, but he still competed. And he's nuts. Actually, let me get up a photo because it's actually batch how insanely built this guy is.
Do you reckon he's on steroids? Are you allowed to be?
You have to be on steroids.
Oh,
It's actually crazy.
They're
Funny
allowed.
thing in the fitness industry, way more people are on steroids and way more people go on procedures than you think. If they're a social media influencer, 9 times out of 10 they've probably had something done.
9.9, I reckon.
So yeah, this is C-Bum.
Holy schmoly.
Holy schmoly, right?
Give us a look at that rig now. I'm straight
But the thing
as.
is, right, he's like 28, 29.
Get the fuck out. He looks like he's 40. He looks older than me.
That's what happens when you take steroids. When you take steroids,
look at
basically,
that rig.
biologically, it fastens everything.
It
quickens everything. It
speeds up.
quickens the rate of cell regeneration and also muscle development and muscle growth. But it also does it the same way as just basically like compiling 10 years into 2. And that's also a state that's happened with like every kind of like procedure nowadays, not even just steroids, but like plastic surgeries, you know, in office skincare treatments, all that sort of stuff, is that a lot of these things like just make you look older. Like steroids, that guy, he's like 28, 29. He looks 45.
He does.
And it's not just because of the muscles, but the facial like reconstruction that's happened. That usually happens when you get to 45 and you've had all that testosterone all your life. Like you only see like salt pepper daddies look like that.
Yeah.
Right? And it's also happened with like Botox, lip fillers, you know,
100%.
other skincare procedures
Salt
and stuff
pepper
like
daddies.
that. Okay, we let's walk past that one. But that's actually a big thing that's actually being reversed right now because of, well, unless you have to be like super rich to get it reversed. But a lot of women are experiencing this like quote unquote like ego death where they go on social media and they're just like, oh, my friend said that I need to get my lip filler dissolved. What do you guys think? And they think that like, you know, they have their own lip filler blindness, lash blindness, whatever, Botox blindness. They think the internet's going to be nice and like validate their feelings. But the internet's brutal. The internet's a hellscape. They're worse than like 5-year-old kids who just learn cuss words for the first time. It's actually brutal out there. And so the internet will rip you apart and be like, you said you were 23. I think you look 47. Like, obviously, she doesn't look 47, but she doesn't look... But she looks like what maybe like a 30-year-old, 35-year-old who's, like, not taking care of themselves would look like if they started doing those procedures to look younger. Because it doesn't make you look younger. It makes you look like that age of people that do it, but they get the procedures too.
Yeah.
The only way to look younger is for what's happening right now. A doctor to open your face like that one DC supervillain that just like has half of Two-Face, you know? Just peel that shit off and move every single muscle and piece of fat just a bit up and a bit in and stuff like that. Completely relocate your entire face back to a youthful look. And it costs like $100,000, $150,000.
I'm so wild.
But that's the only way to actually reverse the signs of aging besides like retinoids.
We're getting catfished like crazy.
Yeah.
people are spending.
I mean, if you look at like Lindsay Lohan, Christina Aguilera,
none of those
Anne Hathaway,
they don't look natural at all.
you
Like,
can tell.
as a man who loves natural beauty, I can tell. Like, I can just tell. Unless it's really good, unless it's a really good job, it's hard to tell. But I'm just like, oh, what have you done? What have you done? Because I know that there's a piece of your soul missing.
For me, I feel like more power to you if you do it, but also like, why haven't you maybe gone to therapy? Because in essence, to do such a dramatic surgery or procedure that changes you, has such crazy downtimes. It's not just like, doing a chemical peel on your skin. Like, this is life altering, never reversible stuff.
Yeah.
Why haven't you gone to therapy for your body dysmorphia first?
Well,
Why haven't you sought professional help for the way you feel and learned to come to terms with how you feel? And if you really, really need that thing, like, say you need like a breast augmentation because like you got breast cancer and your boobs are up and you're just like, I just want to feel normal. Like, I don't want to feel better. I just want to feel like normal. I want to go back to how I should be. That's one thing. But to do such like dramatic procedure, like, people it shouldn't be so supported within like the healthcare industry to do that. It should be like lower like levels of crazy, like mediation first, where you go do the therapy, you go really like years of therapy and do that first before you get like a check from a licensed psychologist being like, I don't think you're doing this because you have like a mental health issue of body dysmorphia. I think you're doing this because, you've explained to me your thought process and reasoning, and I think you would benefit from getting this procedure. And you're not going to go crazy afterwards and keep trying to attain and achieve this unfathomable beauty.
Well, I like your point, but
because if you can afford the surgery, you can afford therapy.
I mean, of course, but am I turning me up or you?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I was accidentally turning you down.
Whoopsies.
But yeah, sure. Take a photo, tag and whatever, follow and what do they say? Follow and
like and follow.
Like
hit
and
the subscribe button.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna clip that. And so one of the things that I learned actually was from a personal experience with an ex-girlfriend. She went to get a facial, just a regular facial, like a scrub or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Exfoliation. And my ex-girlfriend, very attractive, right? Very attractive woman. Doesn't need help in that space. But we'll just go and do regular skincare stuff.
Yeah, just maintenance.
Yeah, exactly, like normal. Anyway, this chick in the shop just be like, oh, hey, have you ever thought about getting a bit of Botox? And my ex never would have thought about that. She was very self-assured, I suppose.
Out some shit that you didn't think about yourself. And it's like, hey, have you ever thought that your nose might be too big? And it's like, no, I haven't, but now I do.
Yeah. And yes, exactly. Same vibe, right? And then she goes, oh, really? Because I think you could use just some here and here and here and here and here and whatever she said to her. She comes home. She comes home and tells me this. And I was horrified.
That's how it starts.
Because of how easy it starts, but how, okay, so.
And it's the way the brain reacts to negativity. It's like 10 or 100-fold the level of impact one negative comment has versus like a nice compliment does. You just internalize that.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking to yourself, like, does anytime anyone look at me, is that what they think?
Well, lucky
if
for
she
her.
thought that and she told me, because that's like part of her job, what about like strangers on the street? What about my boyfriend? What about my parents? What about my brother, sibling?
You're basically telling us about the cycle, the domino effect of insecurity, and it's rapid too. You're right, but let's just pause on that point for a second. Let's use a different scenario, for example. Like, so I used to work as in a call center in the energy industry.
Yeah.
Now the energy industry is heavily regulated, right? The energy industry is heavily regulated because people used unethical practices in order to sell people, innocent, unsuspecting people, door to door a lot of the time. Back in the day when that was very popular with sales, that energy can't do door to door anymore because of this, right? They used to sell them basically on what was considered unethical sales practices and unconscionable conduct. Basically saying unconscionable conduct meaning, how good a doggos.
Puppy.
And unconscionable conduct knowing that you intentionally kind of deceived or didn't tell the whole truth, you know. So what ended up happening then is then you got to this point in that industry where then whenever you were engaging, even if you were engaging the company, not even they're engaging you outbound, but if you're engaging them, they have to read out all these terms and conditions and make sure you listen into this and you say that you agree to all this. It's gotten to that extreme in that industry. The thing with the cosmetic industry is it's completely unregulated, right? From a sales perspective. So literally some young 20-something-year-old chick.
I have so much to say about that because I'm going into studying estheticians. Like getting my diploma of beauty therapy. I have spent so much of my life. I used to have rancid acne. Actually, let me show you.
Really?
Because people
You've
don't
got good skin now.
Actually, this is a bad acne day for me. But I used to have... I'm wearing a little bit of makeup to cover it up because I was like, I'm going to be on camera.
Yes.
But if I can find it, skin.
Okay.
Okay. This is actually like, it's actually how bad my skin used to be. It's also, ignore how different I used to look as well because this is a different time of my life. Where is it? Hold on.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the point was.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, indeed. So my skin used to look like this. I had chronic cystic acne. And I've learned a lot about skincare.
Yeah.
A lot because I had to cure this on my own.
You went through it.
Yeah.
So you had to figure it
there
out.
are a lot of things. Like, it can say on a packaging, right, it's legally allowed to say dermatologist tested.
Yeah.
But that just means it's being tested. Doesn't mean it's been approved. Doesn't mean it's been well received or liked. It just means that it has been tested.
And it could have been tested on monkeys.
Yeah, and it could have been tested in many different ways. Yeah. There's actually a lot of things like, or if the company themselves did the testing and they just said they did testing instead of sourcing it to a third party, like actually regulated testing facility.
Yeah.
You can still say it's been tested.
Yep.
It's like with chickens, like
true.
Produce, like, the RSPCA, like
RSPCA
beforehand and stuff like that. You could just say free range eggs, but it would just be like the chickens let out of the cages for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And that's what constitutes as free range. It's the same thing with the skincare industry. They have so many loopholes, so many things that they can go through, and they promote like crazy.
Yeah.
It is one of the biggest money-making industries in terms of as a content creator. Like the way to get money is makeup and skincare brand deals and promotions. It is so easy to sell your soul and promote shit. And stuff like that. And it's also really easy for dermatologists themselves. Like, I'm not saying don't trust dermatologists. They do have 12 years of experience in office testing, all that sort of stuff. But there are dermatologists that have started, promoting products and stuff like that, not really following ethical codes of conduct per different countries. We have a much stricter standard here in Australia, but places like America, for example, don't,
That's really interesting, though. You're right.
But you can see an American dermatologist who doesn't abide by Australian dermatologic codes of conduct, and you can
see that online.
Yeah,
you can see that on your Instagram
here in Australia, you're not allowed really to promote.
Advertise.
You're not allowed to advertise and promote, and it's like cigarette packaging but for skincare. You're not allowed to do anything glamorized and crazy. You're not allowed to.
Hey, I'll see you at the bar later, huh?
You're not allowed to do anything fancy, like even with the editing or with your content. It's supposed to be purely educational and showing just straight up. Like if you see a video of a procedure being done, it's not fluffy. There's no content girly creation stuff going on. It's just like we're cutting into this fat ass pimple. This is how we're cutting into this fat ass pimple. Watch this fat ass pimple be cut. That's it. That's a whole video. But Americans are allowed to do all the glamorized stuff. That's why you see, like Dr. Miami and stuff like that. All the plastic surgeons like promoting their stuff. And there are some good plastic surgeons that follow a good code of like moral ethics and stuff. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Though, like you don't have to. You should, but you don't have to over there.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
And that's just like a big thing with the skincare industry. Like. There is so much.
So how did you sort of
learn everything?
Yeah, I guess rehabilitate your skin.
I just spent ages researching, like reading medical journals.
You did?
Like going straight on,
Are you
like
kidding?
Yeah.
It's pretty smart.
Literally, like medical journals. I have a thing actually, of like information I've collated.
Really? Oh, so you got like a special folder?
So this is the master doc I have written on prescription retinoids.
Hey, there's another thing we have in common. Every time we do research, I go straight into my notes app.
I just make bullet points. So I did researching on how it works, the science behind it. So, because for me, the more I know about something, the more I can like or dislike something, and the more I feel comfortable about it. So researching something like retinoids, which are vitamin A, that's all it is in essence, is just vitamin A. And it's a retinoid, like the different kinds are just the different strengths that they can be and what they're targeting. Like in the skin, you have 3 different like RARs, which are retinoic acid receptors. You have alpha, beta, and gamma, and then you have an RXR, which is retinoid something receptor. Hold on.
Well, hang on. This is quite advanced knowledge, right?
Yeah, RXR
and by the way, we should tell everyone, you're not qualified as a
No, I'm not qualified at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
I have just done only my
self-research. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. And
which is great.
It's like a certain thing.
You're educated.
I like to learn especially about skincare because it's something I'm so passionate about, but it's also for career later on.
Yeah.
Once I get my diploma of beauty therapy, I can start working in skincare clinics doing stuff. But to get to a place where I can be more independent, I can move up higher, I can even run my own clinics, or I can work in more luxury settings, you have to have knowledge. I feel like that's a bit of a lost art nowadays when it comes to like capitalism, selling stuff, all that sort of like procedural. Like think about
the internet's just full of opinions now.
Yeah, and it's all full of it. Like think about like retail shopping. High-end retail shopping used to be that like you would go in and the like shop assistant would know everything. Any single piece of product you would grab, they would know all the exact fabrics that were used, where those fabrics and stuff have been sourced, all of that sort of stuff. They would know everything, the ins and outs of how their products are made, where they're assembled and how they're shipped and how to wash it, how to maintain it, all that sort of stuff. That's a lost art now.
Really?
It is.
Well,
I would know that because my grandmother runs high-end. She's Margaret Porritt, Feathers Fashion,
Right, okay.
I worked there for a bit. I was a terrible employee because I was freshly 18 and I was just like...
It's only 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I know. But like I didn't understand and appreciate the work that I was doing.
That's humility. That's humility.
A lot
That's
of the
a great
ladies...
trait to have developed.
Yeah, I realized I was a shit employee. If I went back there now, like I would be a lot different, but old lady high-end fashion's also not my thing.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I wasn't connecting with the customers whatsoever because they don't want to hear a 20-year-old skinny little, like, twat.
To be fair, you weren't a good hire, No,
it was a nepotism hire, and I can admit that. I wasn't the greatest hire, but she was giving me a shot.
Yeah, which is great.
But one thing in that, industry is that because she's such a good, business manager, business owner, most of her employees have been there for like 20 plus years. They know the ins and outs. They know where all the what all the fabrics are, how to maintain all the fabrics. They can answer any question. And I want to be that, but for skincare. I want someone to come to me and ask a question, even though I'm not a dermatologist, for like different things, and be able to at least somewhat trust my knowledge because I have done my research as much as I can without, getting a medical degree. But, I've gotten enough qualifications doing a diploma of beauty therapy to just say like, yeah, I've put some time and money and effort into this. But, you know, anything that I say, I want to be able to say with 100% like security that is as scientifically backed up as I'm aware it is. I could be saying something wrong, and that's obviously a T and C's. Like, I'm not a dermatologist. I can't cut out your like sun cancer for you. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to tell you how to treat that and stuff like that. I can only give you the information that I'm capable of giving you.
Yeah, qualified, and that's general skincare.
Yeah, and it's just like, when you realize, like, most people don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to skincare.
Most people don't know.
People don't even know that, like,
anything.
a moisturizer is different to a serum, is different to a cleanser. You just hear kind of cleanser and moisturizer. Yeah.
One of those. Serum, moisture.
You hear that and you're just like, I don't know. And you see the range of it. It's like the choice, the selection becomes a lack of choice almost, because there's too much to choose from, and you don't know anything about it. Most people don't know anything, and 99% of the world doesn't know shit about skincare, and they shouldn't, right? It's not on them, everyone, to be highly educated about this,
but they do need to have
but to
trusted
be
sources.
able to, you know, listen to someone maybe who's well reputable on the internet, or go to a clinic, or go to, you know, a friend recommended, you know, person to be their client, to get those recommendations of what should I buy at the drugstore? I have this and this price range. Where should I source my skincare? I can only do this and this. I have these restrictions, like having a kid. Oh, I have pets and stuff like that. You know, I don't want something that's sticky, like that will get pet fur stuck to my face. All of that sort of stuff is information that I feel like more dermatologists actually don't know. Like, dermatologists a lot of the times aren't well in tune with, like, what's lower cost available. They're more, obviously, it's like a psychiatrist is more in tune and aware of how to prescribe the meds, not how to do the therapy to treat these problems without the medication. They can, but a lot of the times these psychiatrists aren't. Like, that's not what they specialize in. They specialize in prescribing stuff. It's the same thing for dermatologists. Their specialization is in prescription medication. They know what's been given to them. They know what's been researched and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, they're not spending so much time testing out new products and testing out on themselves, like, what is sticky, what's not sticky, what's more gentle, what, you know, is more stripping and stuff like that, because you can't just know that just by reading in the ingredient label. You got to learn that by actually experiencing these products. And I've gone through like a bajillion different products to get these information, because I do this for my friends all the time for free. I just help my friends out with their skincare. They're just like, I have this and this and this problem, and I'm like, girl, go get your prescription retinoid. Go use some azelaic acid for your hyperpigmentation. You know, if you're feeling like you're gonna get a bit of like peely skin, if you've got dry skin, use it only every couple of days. Use this moisturizer because it's not sticky, or use this one because it's super like hydrating and plumping, but the kind of payoff is that it is sticky, so only use it at night. You know, use this cleanser because it foams up like this and you can use it in the shower, versus this other cleanser which kind of just runs down your arms and stuff like that, really finicky to use. Do all this and this and this. You know, if you have issues, come back and ask. Because I feel like with dermatologists as well in Australia, because they're a specialized, you know, thing, it's a price cap. It's only for people who can afford it or have a specific reason to get a referral. My hope and prayer one day is to run a business that's low cost, like skincare, helping people get their skincare routines, not promoting my own products and stuff like that, unless I really feel assured that these products I've developed and stuff like that with another company are really worth it, and helping people manage their skincare routines. Because I feel like that's a much less like tap market, because that's what really skincare should be, isn't just like prescriptions and, you know, in-office treatments. It's the maintenance of doing a skincare routine, but no one's going to spend all their time scrolling TikTok, reading the medical journals and stuff like that. They want someone to tell them for it. And, you know, to pay me like $100 every couple of months just to say, like, you know, for a 1 hour talk being like, let's go over everything, every concern, your diet and stuff like that, you know, let's talk about it. Let's really get into the nitty gritty. That's not something you can do with a dermatologist as much, because that's not really their specialty. They can do it, but most of the time what dermatologists see 99% of the time is just skin cancer checks.
We've touched on a real passion of yours. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get schooled in so much skincare knowledge, but also, you know, I didn't realize that you were going to school me on how knowledgeable you are as well in this space.
I don't claim to be all the more knowledgeable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just think that for me,
never
I'm more
claimed to be
knowledgeable than the
knowledgeable.
normal
Well,
person.
because you've done research.
I haven't done the degrees. I'm not a dermatologist and stuff like that. I can only say from my own experience with actual dermatologists, with actual like people and stuff like that, my own friends, my own family, people I've talked to, what their levels of knowledge are, what dermatologists kind of see and treat and stuff like that. And they're just like, yeah, look, we don't have the time to, you know, sit down and talk to someone for an hour about everything and have the price range really to be able to see them every fucking week and, you know, have that chat with them. Whereas, you know, if you're got a good business practice, which is what I want to do, I want to be able to make that accessible. Even if it's through just like online video platforms, because that makes it cheaper than coming in person and stuff like that. You know, I'm not going to claim to be a professional. I'm going to claim that seeing me is better than seeing a dermatologist. I'm only going to say that I can help as much as I know with things that I think I can help with, and that's a skincare routine.
Yeah, for sure. And it's making people aware as well that, because I think
taking care of your skin is chic.
Yeah.
It's cool. You don't want to, like, most people don't care, but they also don't want to deal with a lot of repercussions when they're 40s and 50s because they didn't wear sunscreen because, say, they hated the texture of sunscreen. And that's a real problem, actually, is that most sunscreens that you buy in store, super waxy, super oily, super slippery, super sticky, all that sort of stuff.
I'm like, layer on thick. I walk around with like zinc on me going, good luck, son. Good luck getting through that.
Yeah, and like white cast and stuff like that from titanium and zinc. Some people love it. Some people absolutely have no qualms about it, can wear it every single day. But a lot of people can't, have sensory issues and stuff like that. You know, just can't do the oiliness, can't do the stickiness. Their hair, if they have longer hair, they don't want that getting stuck to their face, which I absolutely do suffer with.
That makes sense.
And so there are alternatives. There are alternatives that are chemical sunscreens, which are not titanium and zinc. They're made from, you know, chemicals and stuff like that that are formulated to be a lot less like sticky and oily, a bit more hydrating, a bit more skincare infused. There are other ones that are like, you know, the not chemical, the other one, the not chemical sunscreens, I can't remember the name for it, which are titanium and zinc. And a lot of times the big issue with that one is also oiliness and stickiness, but also white cast, because titanium and zinc, think about it, those are white pigments.
It stays just at the very top of where my beard begins, like when I scrub my face.
And it peels up,
Like, I'm able to get most of it off, and
it's
until
really hard to get it off.
Like, do I really care what people? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You smell it. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going out looking like this, but do I really care what anyone thinks of me? No, because I was looking after my skin today.
And
but
that's
not
what it should be,
like
but
me.
not everyone's like that. And it's like there are formulations like Australian Gold, one of my favorites of mineral sunscreen. That's the word, mineral sunscreen, because it's got like a bit of pigment in it to get rid of that, like the white pigment and stuff like that. But it's also really matte. And a lot of people who have like more drier skin types hate it because it's too matte and too dry. But if you're like me and got a bit of an oilier skin, like it, you know, it's perfect. You know, you can deal with it and stuff like that. And it's really easy to apply because the pigments, especially in that one, spreads really easily. But there are just so many issues people have with very particular things. And they get some like generic, like off the stock stuff. But a person can still purchase something, use it, know that they should use it, have to use it, still won't because of a particular reason.
Right.
Whereas if they had talked to someone who had a bit more knowledge about the variety of different products, about like the unknown, kind of untouched, more like niche things, you know, you might find something, you might be able to test it. I might be able to have an in-office clinic where it's like, come try it out, come feel it on your skin. you know, and then let's figure out together what you've got. Like, what's your problems? What's your issues? And literally feel for yourself what's the better option. And, you know, like, I wouldn't be, like, some products I might make a commission off of if I sell, but I wouldn't only promote that sort of stuff. I'd be like, okay, it is what it is, but I'm getting paid for the consultation. I'm not getting paid to sell products.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you're touching
Anyways,
on a lot.
crazy tangent. That was.
Oh, we did, yeah.
I felt like I just like my eyes slipped into the back of my brain, and I just like a ghost of skincare just.
I felt that too, but you know, at the same time, I was kind of endearingly impressed at how passionate you are about something. And it was kind of, you know, I'm sitting here talking, and I kind of zoned out for a second in like this nice blissful.
That's fair enough. That's a lot of information that I'm overloading you with.
Yeah, a lot of information that I really know nothing about. But also, I was like, in a blissful way, I was like thinking, God, isn't it nice to see someone that's at 20 years old be so passionate about something so ethical? You know, I was like, that fills me with a lot of hope, because, you know, unfortunately in society today, we just keep hearing, and we're saturated with the culture wars, really, and that's like anything from boomers versus Gen Zs to like, you know, men versus women to straight
it's all
versus.
just about divide.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about division. Like, where's the community?
Yeah, and so listening to you talk is like it's so nice. It's such a just about that, even though like really like skincare is not even really on my radar, but yet listening to you talk about it,
it makes you also like think about it more.
Yeah,
because you're just
I'm like,
hearing someone else
course.
be so passionate about it. You're like, damn, like, what is there to be so passionate about? Like, I want to know about this.
Exactly.
It's the human desire to learn.
Yeah.
If you have a teacher in school that's really passionate about what they're teaching you, you're always going to learn more and better from that
100%.
teacher than a teacher that's not.
That's true.
Because
true.
Humans mimic each other. If you're crying, someone more often than not is going to feel sad for you and going to feel that well of emotion as well and empathize. Same thing happens when you're passionate about learning. You'll give them that same passion.
Whoop, sorry.
Hello.
That was dipped too low. Maybe tilt it up. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Oh my God, that's my face.
I should have had it there the whole time. But I'm like,
Well.
why
It's
are
alright.
you echoey? Yeah. That's better.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Couldn't help myself. I was like, I'm losing your voice here.
You're
Time to
right,
adjust
though.
the mic. But okay. So where did we go? We sort of deviated away from your singing.
True. Forgot about that.
Did you not want to talk about that?
No, I just have so many things I'm passionate about that I could, like, if you ask me anything about it, I could talk about anything forever. I have so many different passions and so many different hobbies that, like, singing isn't like my entire life. It's obviously the thing I've spent most of my life doing, and it's the thing that's making me the money right now. Yeah. But it's not my entire life. I love it though. I love singing. I do it all the time. Ask anyone. I'm insufferable.
Yeah. Okay, great. And
maybe not so great, but great.
No, I mean, look, you know, life's an interesting journey. Like, especially in the West here, it's just a pick your own adventure. You know, we're lucky that way. You know, there's a lot of societies.
We don't live in those countries where it's like they experience a lot more turmoil and stuff like that. They don't have
or
access.
a lack of choice.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's always great to see that someone in this society, with all the choices we have, has made some pretty good choices. You know, to follow.
The coke just went up my nose, and I heard none of that.
Okay. I didn't really say much other than just you know, it's nice to hear that someone is making good choices to follow their passion and to follow their passions. You know, and that those passions are creative ones and ones mindful of ethics and society. You know, like you could choose anything here. You can choose to be an ice addict here, and that can happen tomorrow. But like, you chose to follow your passion of your singing.
It's a lot easier to choose to be a bad person. Gotta say.
I was saying that in the last episode.
Really?
Oh, I said exactly this. It's way easier. If I had to choose between the ultimate good and the ultimate evil, like, and I had to max out at either of those, I know that maxing out at ultimate evil is way more achievable. I could just do that now.
Funnily enough, actually relevant in Christianity mythology. Lucifer, the devil, right? Also known as God's most beautiful angel. He is, so far as like, you know, what we know of him in Christianity, considered like the like embodiment of evil. He is the embodiment of the sins and stuff like that. But he's beautiful. He's gorgeous. He's, you know, absolutely deceptive in how much you want to trust something that's beautiful. But the other angels, the ones that call to the shepherds and say, "Do not be afraid," ugly. I can't really like spitball that more than they're terrifying, like psycho things. They got a million eyes. They're spherical objects. They look terrifying, but those are what's considered the good angels. And I think that that symbolism themselves of the bad angel, to put it in the most bluntest, terrible terms, is the beautiful one, and the good angels are the ugly, terrifying ones. Because being evil and doing bad things is always so much more seductive than doing the right thing. Taking the high road and, you know, doing the right thing is always going to be harder.
Yeah, it's not sexy.
There's no good deed in doing something good. In reality, like, no good deed goes unpunished. You don't get any reward for it. If you're doing it for the reward, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, you should want to be good because you should want to be good. Not because a book's telling you, not because your religion's telling you, not because someone else has told you, because that's what you feel in your heart, because you've gone through the life trials of realizing that short-term suffering equals long-term benefit, but, you know, short-term benefit equals long-term suffering. You know, you can do the drugs, you can drink a ton of alcohol, but you're going to wake up the next day with a killer headache. Or you can not do the drugs, not drink the alcohol, and wake up the next day maybe feeling a little bit better. Maybe not the best better, maybe you still feel like shit, but you're not going to feel like more shit.
You remind me of a younger version of myself, and all I sit here thinking is, I hope you stay this wise.
I hope so.
Because I definitely, this is like, definitely I knew this. It's like, wow,
you know
I'm
it,
so
but
impressed.
like you don't know it.
Like, yeah, I'm so impressed. This 20-year-old. But I'm like, look, listen, if I'm honest with myself, 20-year-old me would have been saying the same or similar things. But then, you know, a little bit of life happens here or there. And then someone offers you a little something. And then, you know, and then suddenly you've just spent the last 10 years
faffing about, you know, doing the wrong things. But it's all about,
it's easy.
like...
Temptation's easy.
It's so easy, and that's the problem. But it's also not the problem in a
never
sense, because
ending.
it's just
Never
human.
ending.
It's just human to fall into our sins. It's just human to do the wrong thing because it feels nice. And I don't think that's so wrong sometimes. It's not wrong to have a low moment and fall into the temptation of binge eating, even though you shouldn't. Binge drinking, even though you shouldn't. Cutting off your friends, or reaching out to bad friends, or reaching out to that terrible ex. That's human. You're not doing right by yourself, but you're not doing something like wrong, like on a grand scheme of things. You're not doing right by yourself. But just because you're not doing right doesn't mean you're doing it like necessary, like inherent evil. You're just being human. You're just existing.
So you're religious?
I am. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I do believe in, you know.
You go to church?
I do go to church. My
Sunday?
church is under renovation, so I haven't gone for a very long time. I'm not kidding. They are building some...
Surely there's another church somewhere.
I don't like a lot of churches.
Really?
A lot of churches spread the wrong gospel in my eyes. I can't judge them for the gospel that they spread. That is what they feel is the right way to spread it. But in my eyes, I don't think it's my version of the embodiment of God.
What kind of church do you go to?
I go to a non-denomination, like, Protestant church. It's part of the Uniting Church. And they're very open, very welcoming, you know. They're very LGBT inclusive. They're very, like, you know, refugee, immigrant inclusive, all that sort of stuff. Bit of an old people population, so that's, you know, some of the people inside the actual church themselves can be a bit, but, you know, I haven't ever really gone consistently, because I'm not very, I'm not. I wasn't really raised this way.
Mm,
And for
interesting.
most of my life, actually until I was like 18, I was vehemently atheist, and I was just like absolutely not.
Wow.
And for me, I think I realized that like God isn't what other people tell me like God can be.
Yeah.
You know, God, like a lot of people have told me, especially with Christianity, there's a lot of different rhetoric that people say God has to be, God believes, God punishes, all that sort of stuff. And I realized like I do believe that there's something somewhere out there, and I do believe that there's a lot in the Bible that I found by researching and studying different religions I don't and haven't found as much in other religious texts. A lot more about like unconditional group love rather than just like only the people who believe in this God are loved and everyone else is like, you know, sinful creatures and like aren't considered as human. I see that in a lot of other religious texts. Not that that means that everyone who believes in those religions does believe that. That's a bit more of an extremist belief. But I find a lot of the teachings of Jesus specifically really fall in line with just how I viewed morals. And so it's less so that I'm still not all the way there. I fully believe that God exists and like, you know, the rapture is going to happen. It has to happen, all that sort of stuff. But I believe in the teachings of Jesus. And that's what I believe, like someone, you know, Jesus did exist and did spread that stuff and has been misconstrued throughout history. And maybe, you know, he was just some guy. But I would like to believe that he is the embodiment of a divine
that's
being.
all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters, you know, like at the end of the day, the energy that's put into the books is meaningless unless the interpretation
Exactly.
exists.
Like I studied literature in high school.
Yeah.
I was one of like 5 girls. And for me...
In your family?
No, not in my family, in the class.
Oh, okay.
Only 5 people studied it. And that
Right, okay.
ignited a massive passion into understanding
Yeah.
literature and text and stuff like that, and actually doing my due diligence and research to becoming a more analytical and open-minded reader.
Yeah.
And that's why I was
interesting.
against religion, devout atheist, very hypercritical of religion, until I actually opened up my mind and realized I was being the narrow-minded one because I never actually read the Bible.
Yeah.
I never actually read it and actually took the time to interpret it and listen to it. I was
great.
being as hateful as the people that I was denouncing.
Self-awareness had developed. Yeah.
And I was
That
like, oh my
is
God, I know
brilliant.
better.
That's brilliant. That's a moment that few people ever reach, and you got it. You got there.
I know. It's actually a weird thing that not a lot of people have like ever had that level of introspection.
Well, you can hide from it. You
can.
can sense that it's coming, and you can run away from it. I know this.
And you
from
can have like
experience.
faux introspection where you think you know something, but you still don't like fully believe it. You don't have your heart in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Which
like,
is
a lot of
not
people like they
necessary-
know that they should be a good person, but they don't still like follow in it and believe it because they're just like,
practice.
I know I should, but
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
know, it's easier not to, like what we were saying.
Mm.
But when you finally like feel it in your heart, you feel the good that comes from it, not from any external validation. You really learn and therapize yourself and learn how to feel internal validation. You don't need someone telling you like, good boy, to feel like a good boy.
To know that what you did or said was right, like the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
chose
hard.
the right option. It's so hard. And
That's
it's like,
hard.
it's also hard to know that because
It's hard for a lot of people, not for you
sometimes
and me.
there's never
Yeah.
a right option.
Yeah.
Like breakups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's never a right way to break up with someone, but there are better ways to break up with someone, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeesh.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's just good to be like, try. I think trying is the key part. You can't ever be perfect, but if you're always aspiring to be more.
Exactly. That's the word that came into my mind when you started talking about this. I was like, oh, okay. Is there some kind of is there some kind of comfort in having something to aspire to? Because you said, you know, when you were 18, which is like, again, for context, if you haven't been listening, it was only 2 years ago ish
God,
right?
it feels like so much longer. Thank you,
Yeah,
COVID.
and it can feel like a lot more when you have done a lot of personal development and you've done a lot of inner growth, right?
True.
Yeah, it's
True.
not just time
My
or
brain has
COVID.
aged with me
Yeah.
instead of just staying stagnant.
Yes, but also like I think okay, so when like what is the overarching kind of uh, satisfying thing that comes with going from being atheist to being someone that's interested in the teachings and understands that they got to use their own discernment in that space? It's like, oh, you're anchored by the fact that there's when you're an agnostic,
Agnostic, yeah.
when you're agnostic, that there's really nothing to aspire to other than just being, and even that is kind of like a Buddhist. You can go head into Buddhism and just be like breathe in the air, and that's it. You're just being, and that's the virtue of life. But when you switch into like a more religious mode, like Christianity, for example, you're like,
There's more tangible.
there's something to aspire to here.
It's more tangible. Like for
I've been
people
given a
who are atheists
blueprint.
and agnostic and stuff like that, there's a lot more self-discovery on what your aspirations are because you don't have something to believe in that's teaching you. You only have your own moral code and ethics. And for some people, that becomes, throwing yourself into your hobbies or your work and stuff like that because that becomes something you believe in. For me, I found believing in Jesus Christ's teachings a much more tangible way of learning to better myself because it was all kind of already written and laid out for me. It was already written to, hate the thing but don't hate the person doing the thing. Come as you are. I don't think that you being, this and this is good for you, but I'm not going to hate you for doing it. Like that sort of stuff. I didn't learn how to do that until I kind of got myself stuck into the teachings of Christ because it gave me a blueprint. Whereas for a lot of people who are atheist and agnostic, it's a trial by fire a bit more. You got to experience it a bit more. You don't have people teaching you. You don't have a direct text teaching you. You only have you and yourself. Or maybe your friends and stuff like that, family. But you don't have something like inherently laid out for you.
Yeah. And like trial by fire, if someone chooses that path, it's not necessarily, wrong, so to speak, but it is trial by fire. It is potentially a longer, harder, more painful road to learn because you don't have the blueprint and you don't have the teachings and you don't, and so...
And you don't have that community either to fall back on.
Yeah, the community is a big, important part, but also
especially because humans are social creatures.
Exactly. But also like you require so much, like you require an advanced level of self-awareness and wisdom in order
Most people don't have that.
In order to grasp the lessons in the trial by fire.
Because you can go through something terrible and one person comes out a better person, the other person comes out the same because you didn't stop and smell the flowers to actually like see what was being taught to you.
As someone who's
don't go back to your ex. Just set some boundaries.
Exactly.
A lot of people will never learn that. A lot of people will go back to the same shitty people over and over again or keep dating the same people that are shitty in similar ways, maybe different ways and stuff like that, but they don't learn the lesson on how to validate themselves internally.
Overcome it, yeah.
And stop seeking that external validation from partners, being like, maybe that's reaffirming how you feel about yourself, that you don't feel like you deserve someone who treats you better. You don't feel like you should want something more because of this and this in your life because you think you're a failure yourself. Whereas if you learn to internally validate and realize that as long as you try to be better, you deserve better, to set your own boundaries and say, I don't like that. If you treat me like that, I'm going to leave, and actually leave no matter how hard that situation is. A lot of people will never learn that, and that's okay. Not everyone has to learn that. It's like vaccines. Not everyone will get a vaccine because people are immunocompromised or have different belief systems. But, vaccines work because the majority of people get the vaccine. Majority of people, if more and more people learn to internally validate and kind of teach that to other people, to set boundaries by showing them as parents or as friends or as teachers and stuff like that, makes it a lot easier for other people to know how to do it without knowing how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, look, and I like your approach to how you handled your own skincare, your skin challenges. Like go and get educated, go and seek different sources, and use
Trial
your
by
own
fire. I had to
discernment.
use a million different products to get even slightly
Yeah.
good skin.
Yeah,
I had to learn that I had celiac disease, and that was contributing most of my skin problems because I was literally destroying my body from the inside out. Thank you, bread. Thank you.
bread. #sugar.
Can't believe bread is my biggest
Oh my
op.
God. Well, you've taken me on such a journey.
Yay!
We started with Nando's and ended with skincare
I know.
and religion.
And religion.
Whoa.
Having a deep theological debate.
Yeah, has it been debatish?
I don't know. It's been
No, we have
debated.
definitely
More like
been
a
on the same page.
discussion.
Yeah. I've just been nodding. Have you not sensed that I'm like, yes?
Kind of wild how even though we've had very different walks of life, we can just agree on so much.
Well, you'll actually, and I pointed that out when we first started talking because I don't think people point it out enough. But you'd actually be surprised if you spent, like, I highly doubt that in your 20s you've spent two straight, like an hour and a half talking to a 40-year-old man before.
No,
just
haven't.
one-to-one. Yeah.
Not often.
Yeah.
Do I talk to people outside my age range?
Well, exactly. And so, like, it's not such a shock because actually we're all in the same society. We're all similar. But the biggest shock from it comes from, like, oh, when you actually think about it, I haven't actually spoken to someone 20 years older than me one-on-one for a 90 minutes before. Actually, we've got a lot more common ground than I've allowed myself to experience that we've got. Yeah, and I think that's the challenge with society and algorithms these days. Is it's always feeding you the thing that's popular in your group and this and that and the thing that you.
And it's always like diversive. It's always antagonistic and it's always fear mongering, and that's like Murdoch media. Thank you, capitalism.
Thanks,
It's always about pushing out fear mongering. It's always pushing out negativity because that's what gets clicks. Like. I came into this podcast with some apprehensions just because most of my experience online and stuff like that with podcasts where it's just some dude with a microphone interviewing some girl far younger, it's usually like, women are whores. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I hate you.
Snoop
you should
Dogg.
die.
Insert Snoop Dogg lyrics.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's always so divisive like that. It's always just for clickbait views that they're just very mean to each other.
Yeah. That's so easy.
People are mean for the clickbait.
I could do that. Like I could do that.
Literally.
That wouldn't be hard. That is so easy. We were talking about evil. So easy. It is so easy.
It's so easy to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even hard. You know what's actually less sexy, like you were talking about before with the ugly angels. It's just listening to people and just being a good dude.
God forbid.
Yeah. And wanting to tell people stories. That's kind of where I started this. I was a documentary student, I guess, when I was at film school, and I just loved telling stories.
Did you go to film school?
Yeah.
Which one did you go to?
Swinburne.
Oh, you went to Swinney.
Yeah, Swinney. Yeah,
Swinney's good. Swinney's
yeah,
good.
well, yeah, it's better.
You know
now
the
than-
rocket ship park behind Swinney?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no, because I went to Porritt campus.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know this park that has somehow. Oh, so 2005.
No, I'm pretty sure that is the Paran campus.
Is it? You were 0 to 1 years old when I started.
I was 0 to
Jimmy.
1 years old. Oh, maybe it's a newer thing. Nah, there's like a park behind Swinburne where everyone gets fucking stoned and there's like a big old rocket ship sculpture. That's like
Really?
one of the big things I know about
I
Swinburne.
might have to
I
go
don't
there
even
and suss
indulge. I don't indulge. I just know. I just
Yeah.
know. This is scientific evidence only.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's something new for me to check out in my own city.
Sweeney.
Well, great.
God, love Sweeney.
Yeah. No, but it's been really great chatting to you, and like we're on the verge of losing this light. And when we lose light, it's
Are we actually?
good night.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, it's got 1% left down there.
No.
I know.
I have a little portable charger.
Oh, you do?
I do, actually.
I don't think it's going to fire this bad boy up, though. Look at it. It's a
Oh.
full-blown neon sign.
That is a full-blown neon. Maybe. Look,
But-
I charge my neon signs. Does it take USB-C?
No.
No?
No, it's a cigarette port.
Oh.
Cigarette lighter port.
That's old.
Yeah,
That's like
I know.
cigarette lighter port.
Yep. Yeah, either that or power. You had this thing.
I'm always, it's like so like curious, like what a cigarette lighter port's for, like other than lighting a cigarette. Like I understand they power shit.
It produced
I've never
12
seen it
12
not
volt
in a
power.
car.
You've never not seen it in a car?
It's only ever been in a car I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Oh, you can.
Which was very funny to me because I was like, I thought smoking inside your car was like made illegal a while ago.
It was.
And I was just like, it was just like a funny thing. Like, why is there a cigarette lighter?
Yeah,
in here?
because as soon as like smartphones, especially power-hungry devices like smartphones came out, a lot of the tech hardware companies realized that this power-hungry device was best and most efficiently charged through the 12-volt port that you have in your car. So they kept them in there. And plus, you can still smoke in your car. It's just not while you've got passengers in there. Please tell me that's true.
Really?
Please tell me that's true.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Not.
I'm like, surely I'm allowed to smoke in my own car.
I think you're allowed to vape. I don't know. I think you're allowed to smoke if you have the windows down because I think the law is around like fogging up your own car. So like you limit your own visibility. Pretty sure that's like part of the law.
That's some thick ass smoke.
Oh no, you gotta be like
cigars.
huffing that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
like
smoking
Darth
green
Vader.
Yeah, totally. But I'm glad you had a good experience here. I'm glad it's, you came here with some apprehension and you brought Nando's.
I brought Nando's.
And hopefully you've enjoyed it.
Is Nando's.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was really good. And like
solid
I said,
meal.
Oh, magnificent. I
I'm
can't
glad.
commend you enough. And thank you to Jason once again. I'm sure
I know.
he's here.
Thank
I'm sure
you, Jason.
when this episode's released, Jason's going to be here right to the end. I know he is.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. He's really great. We text all the time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say thanks for taking a chance on this, because it's potentially
I love how we have
intimidating.
basically not talked about my singing whatsoever. Funny.
Well, I tried.
We try. I don't know. There's not much to talk about. I'm a singer. I like to sing songs. I like to write and sing jazz music.
This doesn't have to be the last time that we talk, right? But
true.
But I do feel like you took us places that were meaningful to you.
Yeah.
And you are passionate about, and that's equally as important.
Yeah.
Yes. Did we come here to talk about your singing? Yes, because I didn't know much else about you.
But now you know more.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you know my belief systems and how I view my morals and society and stuff like that. And how I love food.
And actually, honestly, I'm probably, if I had to walk away if this was the one and only conversation that we have, I'd rather walk away having learned something like that about your value system than about something I already kind of know about, which is your singing,
I always feel that with like celebrity interviews. I'm just like, oh, you could have asked them any other question. They've heard that question a million times. Yep. Everyone knows the answer to that question. What car do you drive? Oh, what's your favorite song to sing when you're on stage?
Why did you...
Be like Nardwar. Like, stalk their past and then ask them a random question.
That's
They're like,
what I
they
do.
have to be confronted about some like reality. I love Nardwar. He is my favorite like internet like celebrity. I love Nardwar so much.
Really?
Yeah. Like literally... If I was to meet any person in the entire world, I would want to meet Nardwar.
I posted that exact thing yesterday when I saw a Rick Rubin clip. I was like, if I could work with anyone, it would be Rick Rubin.
Really?
Yeah. This guy's a genius. He
What does
gets
he-
it.
So what
He's
does
a
he
music
do?
producer.
Music producer?
Yeah.
For
Worked with-
like what genres?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, he's worked with everyone.
Ooh.
He's one of those Hollywood geniuses. He looks like a mage, like a sage though. He's got like white funky hair. He wears these
I
Bono
love
type
that.
glasses and he's just white beard. He looks like a Buddhist sage, but he's just like this Hollywood music producer that's touched everyone, like just sprinkled his genius on so many people in the industry that are just... And this particular clip was about how that System of the Down
I
song?
love System of a Down.
It's Chop Suey.
Yes.
Okay, you know the bridge. You know the bridge. Forsaken me.
I love it when like punk and like emo music, all that sort of stuff, just goes from like screamo vocals to the most angelic melody you'll ever hear.
Well, Rubin was talking about that. He was working with System of the Down. The singer-songwriter said to him, I've got this song, I've got this bridge, but for this bridge, I've got no lyrics. And Ruben was like, "Oh, you got any ideas?" And he was like, "No, I've got no ideas." He goes, "They're in his library. They're in Ruben's home and in his library." And he's like, "Go and take a book off the shelf, open up a page, and read out the first thing you see." And
That's some real shit.
And it was those words in that bridge.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
wild,
that.
Wild. But only a genius producer would know
Think that.
how to spark creative outcome from a spontaneous activity.
I think true genius is adaptability as a
Yeah.
person. Because you can be a genius producer and stuff like that and just know how to make the beats. But if you're not able to inspire someone else's creativity, you're not really a genius.
Yeah.
You're just skilled at what you do.
Yeah.
But to be a genius, to be a truly savant person,
Yeah.
is to be able to teach that to other people.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the best teachers are
100%.
like sometimes high school professors who just have some of the best success rates with their students.
Yeah.
They're just good. They're just
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They're just so smart at learning how to switch people on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite flavor of people. It's like Phineas and Billie Eilish. Big Billie Eilish fan, don't get me started on her. Oh my god, I will go on forever. But their creative process together as just siblings is phenomenal. Like, you know, he sampled the crosswalk here in Australia for Bad Guy, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, he also got Hans Zimmer involved for her music score No Time to Die for the 007, you know, James Bond. Like,
Yes.
the way they work and the
Yeah.
way they produce their stuff is genius.
It seems limitless and permissionless. It's like,
I just love that.
I
That's
love
my
that.
favorite part about, like, being creative
Yeah,
is
me
there's
too.
no glass ceiling.
yep.
I mean, there kind of is in Australia in terms of, like, actual
Well,
outreach. But in terms of your own personal, like, ability to grow, it just can keep going.
Yeah. But people have made it huge from here. People have gone to as far as you can go
Do you know so many people have no idea AC/DC is Australian?
which is wild to me. Well, and
Because, like, AC/DC is like a childhood treasure.
part of the reason for that, you know why? It's because Brian Johnson, their second singer, is Scottish.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the band, they live in the UK and Scotland.
Well,
the
that's just
AC
what happens
also,
with the
but-
music industry
But,
here.
you know, you're going to tour around, 20, 30 different countries all within a bus ride of each other, right? Like, that's just...
You can't
it's
live in
normal.
Australia for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting my German passport. Yes, I'm on my dad's side supposed to be a German citizen. Lost it because of World War II. But, you know, going through the whole, I don't know what it's called. Like, it's like reparations, basically, to get my citizenship back because it's, you know, what I was supposed to have. Because my grandmother and her parents fled. And so because they're... half of them are German, half of them were German Jewish, lost their citizenship because of that. Because, you know, they left the country, and at that time it was just like, if you leave, you're no longer a citizen. If you're Jewish, you're not a citizen, all that sort of stuff. So I'm getting that specifically because it's just going to make my life a bajillion times easier. Not having to do visas. I know, it's so, like, selfish, but I'm just like, do you know how much easier my life is if I can literally go to, like, 40 different countries just for free, just no visa, no, just show my
The
little
tourist passport here is pretty good, though. You get
It
3 months
is.
in Europe.
Australia's got crazy relations.
Yeah.
I think we're 4th most powerful passport. Germany's 2nd, and number 1's Singapore.
Yeah, everyone tells me a different story about number 1. I'm not even going to argue that.
It used
because
to
I
be
think
the UAE, but the UAE kind of went down, and now it's Singapore. Like, Singapore has crazy.
Someone else told me the other day it was the Irish passport. And I'm
No,
like,
I can get up the
no,
I
no.
can get up the official
We don't want to
listings.
fact check this.
The passport index.
This is too meaningless
No,
to fact check.
No, I care about this passport index.
You would care about this.
Yeah, it kind of affects my life.
You know what I've learned about talking to someone with your level of passion for things is like we just need to let you roll.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If you just let me yap, I'll find an endpoint.
You'll
Girl, can my?
you don't know how to not be passionate about anything. I've learned, which is great. It's
That's
really
true. Yeah, number 1, Singapore.
Singapore.
See?
Magnificent.
Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know. Yeah, passport ranking 2025. It's probably changed for this year. Oh, Germany's down.
That's interesting.
Oh, Australia's down.
Uh-oh.
Oopsies.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We're now number 8, and Germany's now number 4. Oh, well.
Whoa. Okay.
God forbid.
8?
God forbid I don't go to, like, 2 other countries because I have to get a visa for them. Wow. How terrible.
Yeah.
How
honestly.
despicable.
Yeah, there's that. It's first world problems. That's
That
what
is
I'm
such
hearing.
a first world problem.
But
But
hey.
literally, like, so many artists, like Chase Atlantic, Australian. I don't think you would know Chase Atlantic.
No.
It's more like a Gen Z sex pop. You know, like The Weeknd.
I'm open-minded. I'm just,
You know, like The Weeknd, like The Hills and all that
Yeah.
stuff, Blinding Lights, all that sort of stuff. Like, Chase Atlantic is like that, but like turn up the sex appeal to 100. Really? That's like their kind of music. It's all about just, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like it low-key works. Like that's a playlist that like
Really?
a person my age would put on to do the shaboing.
Really?
Yes.
Damn, that's good to
But
know.
they're Australian. There are so many bands, so many solo artists that are Australian, but you don't know because they don't advertise it, because you then get into like stuck into a label and people don't see you as anything more than just the Australian. You know, it happens to a lot of people and very few people escape it. So they don't use that label. They just say, I'm an artist. You know, there are some
true.
people, like,
That-
you know,
that-
think
that's
about like
true.
Kylie Minogue and stuff like that, Delta
Yeah, they
Goodrum.
got smart. They went to the
yeah,
UK.
Yeah, they went to the UK and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, because they're like Australian artists, they've also been kind of put into that box of being an Australian artist.
Yeah,
They're not allowed to be more.
Yeah, but
They're not allowed
once
to be
you
an
reach that
international
level
art.
of success, you're like, oh, put me in whatever boxes you want. I'm still raking it in. You know what I mean? I'm still successful.
I do have beef with the fact that like UK, like you can have a UK accent, like not a Scouse accent, I don't think, but like British accent, like Adele, Ray, all of them.
Yeah.
You can have an American accent, but you can't have an Australian accent when singing. It's not commercial.
An Australian accent is hard to have when you're singing because it's not rhythmic.
Or
You
it's
know what I
just
mean?
because of the vowels. The
Yeah.
big problem with singing with an Australian accent is because we're f***ing lazy. Our accent is so f***ing lazy. And so when you're singing, you have to be a lot more,
God.
like, you have to enunciate your words. And when you
Yeah.
over-enunciate your words and stuff like that, because you have to do that with singing, you tend to sound more American. And if you do a mix of both, that's when you sound a bit more British.
Just remembering, what was that?
Like, if you want to, I
Shoes
can bust
before-
out some random song right now.
ya?
Australian accent.
Oh, that was that chick with the piano back in the early 2000s, Missy
Oh,
Higgins.
I love Missy Higgins.
Yeah, dang.
Obsessed with her as a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely obsessed. I don't remember a single thing because I was like 6, 7, 8 years old.
But I think she was like the full embracing the Australian accent.
Very rare. You just don't. It's just,
Oh, it was rare. When you heard it, you were like, "Whoa, I don't hear this very often."
it's like hearing an Australian accent in like screen and media. You know, because you went to film school, you understand. Like, Australian accent, it sounds fine in person, but on a TV screen, it just sounds hideous.
Unless it's a good movie. Like, one of my favorite Australian films is Priscilla.
Oh, I love Priscilla,
And
my
there's
favorite
so-
drag queen.
Oh, such a great film.
Right?
Just
Such
so
a national
many-
treasure.
So many great parts of it. One, actually, I learned recently that the costume designer who won I think she won an Oscar.
I think so.
It was a Kmart budget. It was
Really?
it was Kmart budget.
I love Kmart. I hate fast fashion, but I love Kmart.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not even just the fashion section. I'm talking like
Everything.
the party section, the tin foil section. Like, just went to town in like these shops and created things from, like, you know, like when you go to Spotlight, right? That hideous fabric over there is really cheap. But a good costume designer could turn it into something a drag queen would wear.
That's true.
On top of a bus, going through a desert.
Going through the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. That's literally how you do it, though, as a creative. You turn the most rancid, like, uncreative, ugly things into a beautiful work of art.
And that, I mean, and that's a piece of, like, that image of, I think it was Guy Pearce on top of the bus, whoever his character, Felicia, was it Felicia?
Felicity? I don't
can't
know.
remember
It was like that.
which character it was. You know, with that endless stream of, like, silver fabric flying off the top of that bus. Like,
Like,
that's
that was
one of the
so
most
cinematic.
iconic pieces of film, Australian film, maybe even international film.
I think so, internationally. Like, Australia doesn't have a lot of good stuff. Like, we do have a lot of slop that we
shit.
make, some weird ass
Yeah.
always around surfing
And police.
and police. Oh my God, like,
Cop
shut
shows.
up.
How many cop shows do we need?
Oh,
When I was growing
Home
up,
and
it was just
Away.
cop shows.
It's
cop
always
shows.
cop shows. Like, like, yes, we do have a great police force here in Australia, but
Yes.
enough with the propaganda. We're not those
Propaganda.
propaganda. We're not f***ing Yankees, okay?
Yeah.
God,
for sure.
calm down. We're
I
not
love
Americans.
it. You are such a bogan. I've learnt that too. I love it. Not in a judgy way. I just you're making me feel okay to have been brought up in this. Well, I grew up out in Berwick, so like.
Oh, you grew up in Berwick. That's down near like Pakenham and stuff.
Warren, yes,
Yeah,
between Mary and Pakenham.
Yeah, I know the area.
I grew up out there.
It's not a terrible
Maina.
area.
No,
It kind of used to be a bit worse, but nowadays it's got a lot more like development and stuff going on.
Yeah, my inner bogan has been definitely fulfilled today. Sitting across from you.
No, yeah, mate. So I went down to Nando's. I got a chuck of chips and a bucket of beer.
Oh, you're so funny.
Oh, I love putting on the Australian. That was my favorite thing when traveling internationally, especially when I went to Thailand. First ever solo trip last year. Saved up like 2-3 grand for it. And my favorite thing when talking to like especially Americans
How long
was
did you
just,
go for?
I went for 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
I know. I enjoyed it. It was I went to Chiang Mai, so it was a bit cheaper and stuff. And my brother used to live there because he lives in Thailand sometimes. Like he lived there for like 3 years, so I got a lot cheap because I could just stay with him. But whenever I saw an American, I was like, oh yeah, mate. So what's going on? Like, so what you've been up to? I'm just here chilling by the pool.
You know this is going to be up on the internet.
I want this to be my legacy. I will die with this to be my legacy. If I ever get famous, I'm going to kill myself. Because if I ever get famous, people are going to be talking about, like, what is it called? What is
This is staying up there.
Yeah, it's going to be like
I'm like,
your
are you
digital
sure you're
footprint.
unleashing? Are you sure?
I'm telling the world now, I like to bully Americans by putting on the strongest, thickest Australian accent possible and
Are
making
you sure
them
you're
think that we all
bullying them or yourself?
self-bearing. But literally, I can't.
That's
I
so
literally
funny.
like went into this thinking, me like, I'm not PR trained. I'm just gonna say
You
to
most
say.
definitely.
I'm a chronic yapper. I get post yap regret all the time.
It's okay. There's no reason to have post yap regret. I just wanted to make sure that you knew
Oh,
that
I
your
know. This is my
your
digital
Bogan
footprint.
Unleashed version is actually hilarious to me.
If I ever get famous, this is gonna be that thing being
Oh,
like,
this
if
is
you're
great.
a real fan of Keskiyo, you're gonna have seen this podcast interview.
Great.
I mean, it's great, like
That's
advertising
good.
later on.
You know,
It's like those songs on TikTok that get famous like 10 years after they've been like put out.
Yeah, but like, you know, I think you've been pretty real today as well. Like you
Hmm.
feel you're comfortable to bring out these sides of you, and I'd never want anyone to feel uncomfortable on this podcast.
Yeah, I think everything I've said is what I truly believe right now,
Yeah.
and that's subject to change.
But
I could
also-
grow and develop and stuff like that, and be like, look back on this and be like, I was so wrong. I'm so politically
Nah,
incorrect.
we
Blah
all
blah
grow.
blah. But like,
We
this
all
is
grow.
as a 20-year-old what I do believe and how I believe I should go about the world and treat people and my
Yeah,
favorite foods.
It's great. You've been great. I'm just happy that you're so comfortable like being yourself. And you know, even though, you know, if I looked back at 20-year-old me now and saw myself on video, I'd probably think I'm cringe. But like
Who
the
doesn't?
reality is it's just you in this moment in time. It's not you. It's just you in this moment in time. That's the one thing about life that you learn to accept. And I think you've probably already grasped this, but you know, at sort of my age, when you look back and you do have some regretful actions that you need to, you know, I guess think through and consider so you don't make certain mistakes again. You're like, oh, that's not me. It's like, that's not me. Like you were talking about earlier. It's not, don't hate on the person. It's just the behavior. It's like you start judging yourself, but you forget that you're actually judging a past version of you.
Yeah.
Old selves, old ways of thinking. It doesn't matter. It wasn't wrong.
It's like
just,
reading a book that's like was written in the 1800s and judging it to modern day standards,
Yeah,
being like,
which I
"Oh,
hate
that's
that.
so terrible. That's so," but that was normal.
Yeah,
That was normal back
that's
then.
how they thought.
That's how they thought,
That's how
and that was
civilization
their
developed.
version of being progressive back then. Was this thing like? Yes, slaves are bad. That was like the big progressive move back in the 1800s. Obviously, we know today in our standards, obviously slaves are bad. But back then, that was a point
Well,
of
it's still
contention.
happening.
And yeah, it's still happening. Thank you, police system.
Mm.
Not police, but the prison system. Not so much here in Australia, but in America where it's privatized. Crazy industry. You know, they get paid for their inmates. And
Yeah.
if they have under a certain inmate amount, they don't get paid as
You're
much.
kidding. That's
Yeah.
fucking wild.
It's actually
my God.
insane. It's an industry. And then, you know, the fact that this, like, well, the inmates themselves are treated like slaves with their unpaid or, like, pennies on the dollar labor. I hate that because, as we've seen in Norway and Scandinavian countries, and I hate to bring up Scandinavian countries as, like, the pinnacle of amazingness, but they have shown proper rehabilitation centers that don't dehumanize a person, don't devalue them, don't introduce them to more violent environments and stuff like that, and truly treat it like rehab. Have some of the lowest, you know, offense rates.
Offense rates. Yeah.
And like, you know, that's a lot of problems that us as the Western world suffer, is that the way that we handle our criminal justice system has a lot of reoffensive rates, and we see that a lot in Australia.
They've got
with
no choice but to reoffend some of
yeah,
these people.
especially when you're going into a prison with
Come out of
like-minded or
prison.
worse people that only encourage that behavior, instead of, you know, going to a place where you're treated like a person, treated with dignity, and then you come back into a society where you have more help and support.
Yep.
You know, especially in America, a lot of the times, like, you know, reoffense rates often happen because there's nothing else. They come out of prison, they don't have a job, they don't have a home, they don't
can't
have an
get
income,
one.
they don't have support. What else are they going to do except for be homeless and steal?
That's so true.
There's no support. How are you expecting greatness from someone you're not supporting? You can't expect a kid to excel in a subject that he's been constantly demeaned for doing shit or doing terrible. Like,
I agree.
yeah, it's
I
like
agree.
punishing behavior. You're not going to teach your dog to stop pulling on the lead by punishing the dog for pulling on the lead. You're going to teach your dog to stop pulling on the lead by, you know, rewarding them whenever they walk next to you rather than pulling ahead. I don't understand why that logic isn't used. It pisses me off.
This is another rabbit hole we could go down, but yes, at the 2 hour mark, this has been such a great,
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's nuts.
I know.
Can't believe we've been yapping for so long.
Yes, we have.
Can't believe I've been yapping for so long. I've
No, you've been
low-key just
great.
taken over the conversation.
No, well, I like that. I like when people come here and they feel comfortable enough to express themselves. That's what this is about, you know, to show that, like you said before, two people with vastly different life experiences, born in, you know, 2 decades apart, can sit across from each other and engage in a meaningful way. Like, tick, you know what I mean?
And to any people in the future watching this, if I get famous, I don't think we should hate people. Just treat people nicely. Oh my god, calm down. Any of my beliefs are all just beliefs and aren't reflective of how I treat people.
I've got a feeling that
TLDR.
cancel culture is going to quell, and those people will
think
know
so.
exactly what you mean
I think
and
so.
agree.
I think cancel culture hit its peak because of COVID.
I think it did.
Because COVID, like,
peaked.
kind of just dulled a lot of people's emotions, especially here in Victoria, Melbourne. Oh my god, you guys don't understand how bad it was here. No one understands if you actually.
I get it.
It's so
I
bad.
didn't get jabbed, so I was there.
You didn't get the jab?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I'm one of those people that everyone hated, and it's okay.
Well, like, I don't feel any way about people who did or didn't. It's not something that I'm well educated on. I got it because I was told, you
We
know,
were the
because I'm
bad guys.
immunocompromised, that I should get it. But I don't feel anything that you say that. Like, I'm just like, okay, that's a choice you made. Your body, your choice.
Yeah, exactly, and it's great to be on the other side of it now, where most people I talk to have that same opinion, but back then...
Oh, it was a lot more divisive. It was like, you're going to kill people if you don't get the jab. And it's like...
Yeah, and that's part of the meaning of this podcast, is to remember that there's so much more to us, you know.
Right.
You know, and there's just so much they don't tell you as well.
Right,
know,
like
and you should never listen to a politician.
Oh my
right?
god, politics. The
You
way
should
that
just
people
never
treat
listen.
it so
You should just
divisively.
never listen to a politician, because
Don't
all
listen
they
to
did,
politicians.
like these career politicians, they have no experience in the real world in any kind
They
of
have
job.
no ethical code of conduct. They can just do and say whatever.
Yeah, it's wild watching them.
And they can get lobbied. And they can get paid off by the coal and gas corporations. They can get paid
100%.
off by international foreign agencies.
Especially this
That's fine.
guy. This
That's
guy that was running the state back then. I mean, this guy doesn't look like a picture of health. And what's he like? Excuse me, I'm very health conscious. I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna let a guy that looks like that tell me what to do with this.
And that's fair enough. You're allowed to make that decision. That makes us a free democracy society.
100%.
Like,
And so, yeah, it's great. It's great that we've been able to have this. And thank you so much for being here. It's been great. And let's do this again sometime. Maybe we'll give it a while. We'll give it a while, and then we'll come back, and then you can have a listen to our episode and go,
oh my god, no! I don't want to watch myself. I don't want to watch myself talk.
Your handwriting is actually really sweet. I like
Is
the little
it?
love heart edition and the
I thought that
pokey
was cute.
fun face, the pokey tongue face here. I'm gonna clap this one out. Keskiyo, thank you so much for being here.
Period.
Ooh, period. Yeah, period.
Period.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Oh my god, the world is